Hey guys and girls. Well, this is quite interesting. I'm actually looking at the screen here upside down because I have to have it at an angle, otherwise it automatically flips it. Oh well, whatever. I ain't complaining. Right guys and girls, this is for us Fiat Panda 4x4 enthusiasts. Now this is a prop shaft bearing, there's two of them. Now that one I've already sort of sorted out-ish. I've still got to do some work on the, as you can see there, look, there we go. Starting to pull away a bit, but you can fix these with Tiger Seal. Google it, it's good stuff. Like liquid rubber, it works ever so well. You can, when it gets to a certain hardness, you can mould it into shape and then leave it to set. So, which is what I've done to my other prop shaft bearings. Right, anyway. Now, I took my prop shaft to bits on Project Fallout. And basically what I've done is I've just greased this bearing up. Took all the oil seals out of it, so you know, the seals, and I've greased it because it was getting a bit gritty and not very nice. But it turns now, it sounds a bit gritty now, but that's because it's my fingers rubbing on the thing. But it's now quite stiff, but it's stiff because there's lots of grease in there. I did put quite a bit in there, probably too much, but it'll just run out. It doesn't matter that much. Right, anyway, first things first on these is to get the guards off. Now, the guards on these things are designed so that obviously like grass and things isn't going to go inside there and wrap around the bearings inside, which isn't going to make it any good. It's going to knacker the bearing out pretty quick. Now, there's probably a special way to do it, but I found the best way to do it was to get a screwdriver and just prise into it. And then you can worry about straightening it back up again at a later date. Well, at a later time. There you go, that's it, I'm in it. Now, you want to do that, and you want to do that on the other side as well. Just screwdriver in, and just ease it out as you turn it round. Don't know if it's coming out right on the camera. Remembering to keep it at the level of the desk. Bit of a how-to actually. How to repack prop shaft bearings with grease. Right, okay, inside there we'll have the oil seals, which are these guys here. Now, these are actually covered in crap, but believe me, they are oil seals. Right, to get those out, you're supposed to have a special tool. Looks a bit like a needle kind of thing, but my special tool is a screwdriver, so in it goes, and just pull it out and it should just come out. There you go, like that. Now you can see the grease in this was pretty on its way out. Look, oh, there you go. Look, it looks like bloody lard or something, doesn't it? Yeah, it's past it. It's past it. Right, and we've got the bearings inside. If the camera would focus. Come on, intelligent autofocus or whatever it's called. Intelligently autofocus, please. Yeah, so as you turn that around there, it sounds like crap because all the grit's got in it now. Oh, this is so strange, upside down screen. That's better. Right, so you can see we've got the bearings that are spinning around in there nicely. Right, now to clean it out, what you can do, well, let me just take this other oil seal out first. I'll show you in a second. There is actually a hole that you're supposed to put the seal in, but this method does work. As you can see, it works quite well. As you can see, look, these have actually worked quite well in stopping grass and things from wrapping around the bearings, because look, there is grass and things in there. So it works fairly well. That's what the little catch is for there. Just helps keep stuff from out the inside of the bearings. But yeah, they need to clean up. Right, so the way how I clean these up is just get a rag and clean it. Just want to clean all the old grease off, really. Clean up as much grease as you possibly can off the things. I have to keep looking at the camera to make sure that I'm actually, you know, in where the camera can see, because I am slightly zoomed in. If I zoom out, you can't see what I'm doing, but if I zoom in, You can see what I'm doing, but I have to keep checking back and making sure that I'm in the right place. It's pretty warm tonight actually. We've got mosquitoes and all sorts of bugs and things flying around. I know the mozzies because they've been bit by one a few times. Well, multiple of them. Whatever. Could be welding burns though. I have been welding today. Done quite a bit of work on Project Fallout. All of his sills now back together again. Well, sort of. I've got to weld it. It's all in line to be put back together. It just needs to be welded. I have been welding spots in there so it just holds it together while I get some stuff ready for tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow, maybe the day after, I don't know, depends what I'm doing. Yeah, this takes a while. There we go, nice, clean oil or grease retaining rings. Right, now I just want to work on the actual bearing itself. Now I've still got grease in there, bits of it, you know, gritty and graty that is, but it'll all come out once it's been cleaned. So that you use penetrating fluid or something like that, just sprayed in there. And give it a couple of spins around. Of course, if you've got one of those cleaning things, you could just keep putting it in that. But we don't have that luxury, I'm afraid, so this is all it gets. Okie dokie. So you made sure that that bearing inside there is nice and clean. Try and get out as much as the penetrating fluid as you can. Move that out of the way. No idea how this video is going to come out. It's probably going to come out looking terrible. Oh well. Alright, now what you want to do is you want to get your trusty tub of grease, all the grease. I'm putting quite a bit of grease in this thing, probably too much, but I prefer to put lots in and then wipe out the excess. But I'm kneading it into the bearings. So as I'm pushing it round into it, oh you can't see, as I'm pushing it round into it, what I'm doing here is I'm pushing it into the bearings. So it's actually going into the bearing, getting all the air out of it and replacing it with grease. And the idea is I do this enough times so that the grease starts coming through the other side of the bearing. And got a bit of rust in that one there. Try and take the bits of rust out. They won't make the bearing very happy. There we go, now we've got grease coming through the other side, which is nice. And what you do then is you take one of your seals and you pop it in, and hopefully as you press down on the seal it should press the stuff through the bearing a bit more. Now you shouldn't need to use a screwdriver for this, you should just be able to use your fingers. There's a certain recess that this sits in and you've got to make sure it sits in it. But don't be silly and press it too far into the bearing. Of course I've seen people that's done that before and obviously it breaks the bearing. There we go. Yeah, this isn't a very. This is not a very. A very clean job, I'm afraid. It's quite messy, this job. Excess grease, you can just stick it around the outside of the bearing. Doesn't really matter that much about that. And I say that because it's got the cover on it. Better than throwing it away. Just wipe it on a cloth and then throwing it out. Right, and then you get your cup, or whatever the hell you want to call it. Whatever this thing is. Your shroud. We'll call it a shroud because that's what it's like. Stops crap from getting in the way of the bearing, just like a shroud does on a MIG welder. Just nicely clean that off as well. The crap you get in there. Let's just stick that on. These are quite funny to put on sometimes. Might have to use a whatever the hell that is, a piece of threaded bar or whatever, screwdriver or something, big flat blade, just to knock it on. You want to try and get it the same level as the inner bearing, the part of the bearing that the shaft sits on, so that it's all the same height inside. That way it won't rub around the outside, but it'll be all good. There you go, look, and as you can see the grease is starting to come through now the other side of the bearing as you turn it, which is good. That's what you want. It just shows that it's nicely, you're not seeing that, nicely greased. Right. Don't forget to put your oil seals on. Like I say again, these just sit in there, but they do have a bit of a recess that they sit in, so they will sort of clip in. You just have to be careful with them because you don't want to press them in too hard. Sometimes you do have to use a screwdriver though. Just to show him who's boss. There you go, that one's got in. Just have to knead it in around the sides. What is attack of the insects? There's absolutely millions of them around here today. And again with the grease you can just leave it in there. Doesn't really matter that much about that. Just adds for more protection, I suppose. Okie dokie. So on my other 4x4, my other Fiat Panda 4x4, Talon has been named. Please check out the other videos about him. What I did with that was I did the same method as this, but I actually painted all these as well. I don't think these will actually rust. I don't think they're made out of mild, they're made out of something else. They probably will rust, but it'll take years and years, but made out of some pretty decent, it could be galvanised I suppose, but whatever, they keep the rust out pretty good. And you see, anybody else would have bought a new bearing for this because it was getting a bit ropey, it was a bit naff. I just bashed it down, and it's also bashed this side down, so you have to just lift it back up again a bit with the screwdriver. The beauty about Tiger Seal is that it sticks to anything, even grease. And there we go. Okay, now nicely stuck down bearing. If I could just get it all to sit nice and level. Doesn't really matter, I suppose, but you don't want them coming off as you're going down the road. And there we have it. So the bearing is now nice and greased, and it feels like a new bearing. Got no lumps in it or anything. It feels quite nice and smooth. I will be doing another video on how to repair this horrible rubber. This is all split and perished, as you can see there. But until then, I've got to order some more Tiger Seal online. So until then, I'll have to cut the video short, I'm afraid. But yeah, that's it for just replacing the grease in a bearing anyway. So thanks for watching, guys and girls, and I will catch you on the next video at some point in time, whenever it may be. I could do an update on Project Fallout, because that needs a bit of a video update, which I'll probably do a bit tomorrow, because it's a bit too dark outside now. It has gone 8 o'clock, so I think it's 8 o'clock. What time is it on the camera? Oh, it doesn't tell me, sadly, while it's recording. But yeah. Oh well, that's the 2 bearings done anyway, so that's it for that one. Thank you very much, guys and girls, for watching, and I will catch you later. Peace out.